April 29th. We're here to honor my sister, and I'm so blessed to have my family here with me. And we're all here to say some comments. We're sitting around the dining room table going through all these great pictures that we've had over the past, and from memories of the trip that they came out here when we went to the boat, and unfortunately we all got sick, and we all laughed and had a wonderful time. And then just recently, we got before Chris's wedding, they were here, and I had some picture of them. We were on Jungle Queen going down the Intercoastal, touring the various homes, and that was a good time. We're just trying to remember in the past. And one of the things that I really remember is that many years ago, I don't know, I might have been 10 years old, and Gord might have been 14 years old, and we went from Mariposa. We got on a bus in Merced. We took the bus to Los Angeles. We changed from the bus terminal to another bus terminal, and we got to Rialto, where Lynn was living with Chuck. And we went down to visit them. We were going to take a trip to the ocean. And Chuck's, one of his best friends, was going also to the ocean with us with his grandmother. And it was late at night, and this probably was a Memorial weekend or something, because it was just swamped. And we're driving down the Highway 1, and it's dark. We can't see anything. It's probably 10, 11 o'clock at night. And for some reason, the hotels, nobody booked anything. Everything was booked up. So they said, well, there's a bunch of cars parked over here. Let's just park over here with the ocean. So we pull over, we find a place to pull in, and we're all so tired. And we put down our sleeping bags or whatever we had to sleep on. Some of them slept in the car, but I remember myself and my brother, we slept on the ground. And we got up in the morning, we couldn't believe it. We were sleeping kind of like by a dump. And ants were all over the place, and we go, where are we? But that was an experience you hopefully only have once in your lifetime. But that was good. I remember they had a dog with a Weimaraner, a tan dog, was with us, and that was one of the stories that I remember many years ago. But there's several stories to talk about. I just remember my sister just having this wonderful, wonderful laugh.
Mm-hmm.
She could everything. She just had a great laugh, and my wife has the same type of laugh. We're very fortunate. Everything is you can hear it a mile away, and you knew it is. So that was a wonderful time. Would anybody like to make another statement?
I will. So I got the chance to visit, and we all sat in this room, and Aunt Lynn was sitting there, and I was in this sewing class, and I made this heart, and I knew how much she loved lavender, and so I put lavender in the heart, and I gave it to her. And she was like, oh, and she smiled.
And she said she was going to sleep.
Yeah, she was going to sleep with it. So.
This was about 3 years ago when
Last year.
Was this last year?
Yeah.
Last February.
Last February, okay. Last February, I flew out and brought Courtney and her 4 daughters, and we went to visit Sis, and we had a wonderful time. And the girls made things, and they brought the violin, and they sang songs, and it was just a wonderful time, and just good to see your smile and have joy.
Hi, Connor. And I'm going to tell you one of my favorite memories with Aunt Lynn. I think my favorite memory was actually the funniest memory. Is we were all sitting next to her on the couch, and we kept asking her questions to see how her memory was. And I went up to her and I was like, "Do you know what Mariposa means?" And she was like, and she just thought for a little while, and she just sat there and she was like, I think Mariposa means Mariposa. and we all just started laughing. And I was like, oh no, Aunt Lynn, you're close, you're very close, but it actually means butterfly. And so we were all laughing so hard about that. Another memory was her smile. Whenever she got happy, she had this great, beautiful smile that made everyone else happy. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
My name's Sasha, and my favorite part is about the pictures. is that so many of them seem different, and that's all what I wanted to talk about.
My name is Noah, and I really like looking at this picture.
For Lynn, the first time I met her, she was so warm and welcoming when we went to Davis, California, and we met her when we were just dating in California. And then later on, as the years grew, we got to see her periodically, and I especially remember a beautiful garden and the way that she dried all the flowers for Christy's wedding and was so excited and was drying food and everything. And Lynn was a wonderful person who had a lot of love for a lot of people, and I know that we'll miss her.
I met Lynn when she came to North Carolina, and we had a wonderful time together. And then she came to Florida, and we had a wonderful time together. She was a great woman and lots of fun to be with, and I enjoyed her very much. Thank you.
Okay. I'm Courtney. Lynn was my aunt, and I love Lynn very, very much. And, I remember going to her house when she was married with Mac, well, and Chuck first, and doing stuff with her, and then I remember Mac, and I remember being with Lynn, and then I remember when I was in high school, we would write back and forth, and she would send me little presents and little encouragement lines, and was really interested in my life. And she came to my wedding and was a part of that wonderful celebration. I was so blessed to be able to see her last year and to be able to pray with her and sit next to her and tell her how much I loved her. And I always think of lavender, like Ellie, when she made her pillow, because she had these great big beautiful lavender bushes, and she would send me pictures of it. And like Dad, I loved her smile and her laugh, and she always said so funny things and little comments that she would make, and I can see them in her expressions throughout all these pictures. And I'm really going to miss her, and I just rejoice in the life that she had. Just a little message to Gordy and Karen and Christy and Sandra and Rachel, your children, and everybody else that love Lynn so dear that we are not able to be with you today, as I know you too will be celebrating her life. And we just, we love you all very much and praying for you too at this time.
I was thinking about Aunt Lynn and a number of the stories that she actually gave, and us, and a lot of laughter. She was at our wedding, and it was so wonderful to have her at the wedding. And after the wedding, we've seen her a number of times. I saw her up in Highlands, and had a great time with her there. But one of my funnier stories that I remember was a line that she said after Canute had actually come out of Mom and Dad's backyard or door, and he did a little spin and went into the pool. And he was under the water, and we jumped in and got him up, and he got him out of the pool, and Aunt Lynn pulled me aside and she said, "Nice save." And then she started laughing, as she always did. I just think about that story. She was so fun, so wonderful, such a beautiful person. And she had so much compassion, and she reminds me of Dad a lot in that capacity. Got a lot of compassion for people and taking care of them. So that's what I remember about Aunt Lynn. We're thinking about all of you in California at this stage.
We just wanted to send our condolences to all of your family. And my only time to meet Lynn was in Colorado. I'd been in Tracy's house, so I'm glad that I got to meet her, and we're thinking of you guys.
And I just wanted to say that one of the things I most remember about Lynn is, and treasure, is just she would just sit down and talk to you for a while. Everybody else could be doing things, but you could just have deep conversations. And whether it was in Lake Tahoe or in Highlands or when we were in Florida, I'd find that me and her would at least talk, and we would talk a lot about spiritual things sometimes, but other times just anything else. And I've prayed for Aunt Lynn for a long time, and I love her, and I just want you guys to know that I love you guys too, and I'm praying for you guys, that the Lord would comfort you, and as well as draw you closer to Himself.
Hi, I'm Shanley, and Aunt Lynn was my great aunt. And a very fond memory that I have of her is when we went to visit her last year, and I brought my violin and played for her, and she hummed to every tune that I played and smiled and just continued to encourage me as I performed for her. So that meant a lot to me, and it's been great to look at all the pictures of her and her life and just get to hear a little bit more about her.
And this is my favorite picture out of all the pictures on the table of Aunt Lynn. She seems to be in a garden. Thank you.
Appreciate it very much. One last comment about my sister. She just loved people. I know when she had the B&B, she couldn't wait to find out who were new people were going to stay overnight, work, and talk to them in the morning, talk to them that night. She just loved the world and loved to talk to people. That's a great character.
Time of saying the Lord's Prayer, since we got the opportunity to say the Lord's Prayer with Lynn last February, and she said it with us. So, Our Father,
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power,